Want to learn how to use just 5 pieces of content a week to hit 20K, 50K, or even 100K months? Yes, it's totally possible. And in this training, I'm going to break down for you exactly how I've been able to do this in my business and how I've shared my content system with my clients to be able to duplicate these results using only organic marketing. Now, let's get real. It can be absolutely frustrating to feel like you're constantly creating more content. You're showing up online, maybe you're doing daily lives, maybe you're doing live launches or webinars, etc. And it feels like all you're doing is creating more content and you feel like you can't keep up. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you want to attract premium clients in your business and be able to have a pipeline of premium clients in, you do not need to be spending all of your time marketing, but it's more about having a strategic approach to how you bring clients into your business using content marketing. Now, these 5 pieces of content that I've been able to use a week in my business has allowed me to do things like have 60K days with cold traffic. I'm talking about strangers, people who have never met me before, who just met me. I've been able to grow my business working only 15 hours a week using only organic traffic up until this point, and has allowed me to go from total unknown with zero following and being the best kept secret to being able to become the go to in my industry in just months. So let's talk about it. Let's get into the details of what this looks like. So if you're new here and you've never met me before, and this is the first training you've been to, my name is Naz Echeverry. I'm a business growth strategist and 18-year marketing expert, and I help my clients go from unknown best kept secrets to go to in their industry by converting strangers and lurkers into paying premium clients in just 7 days using my easy yes method. So let's jump into what it looks like to create strategic content using a content system so that you can create less, get more, be able to go about your life more. So first I want to talk about the 5 pieces of content a week. Yes, it's true. I literally only write 5 pieces of content a week. And honestly, it's so much easier than you could ever imagine. When you realize that really sales and marketing is a guided decision making process, and that our content, the job of what our content is supposed to do is number one, attract new people into your world, create visibility. Number two, it's there to help them get out of thought and into decision mode. And number three, it's helping them really build that know, like, and trust so they can actually convert into a client. You realize that your content gets to be the thing, the catalyst to being able to create these huge opportunities for you, that it becomes a lot easier. So, the one thing that I tell my clients is to look at how people typically make decisions. When we understand that people literally sales and marketing is guided decision making, this thing that you need to understand is to be able to say, how do people make decisions and how can I line up my content to help them in making a decision? One of the things that people don't understand often is that when we're creating random pieces of content without a strategic approach to how we're sharing it and what we want them to do every step of the way, then we're really just confusing our audience more than anything else. So you want your content to follow a strategy that allows people to really get crystal clear on an idea and be able to get to the other side to make a decision. So one of the things my clients and I do is we use what's called our 5 pieces of content. So our 5 pieces of content literally allow someone who just meets you. If you think of each week, we come into one solid topic. On that one solid topic, essentially what we end up doing is building a conversation around the topic, creating a shift around the beliefs around it, creating a solution and sharing the opportunity to solve the problem, and then position your offer as the solution. In doing so, we're able to eliminate all other competition. We're able to literally take them on a journey from just kind of getting into an understanding around what they really need to be doing to solve that problem and into a state of actually being ready to take the next step, which is convert into a client, right? So, the number one thing I want you to understand is if you want a content system that works for you, you need to understand that you need to be talking to and targeting the right type of clients. So, if you're speaking to DIY clients, the type of clients who don't know they have a problem, they don't know that they need to solve the problem, they're not prioritizing it, and there's a lot of convincing every single step of the way, then guess what? Your content is not going to work for you. Now, the reason my 5 pieces of content work so well is because number one thing we do is we target ready to invest clients, the people who already are seeking out a solution and want to be able to solve for that problem. In doing so, now our guided pathway looks a lot different than it would for a DIY client. So, if for example, a way that we do this is we introduce the topic, we then take them through like a step stepping stone way, so that as we introduce the topic and bring conversation around it through engagement, we then create a belief shift in why the other things they've done haven't worked before. We identify the gaps, and then we take them into sharing the solution, and then again take it one step further and show them how it would work for them. This is literally the entire part of how my content works. We use only three types of content, forms of content. Number one is engagement content. Engagement content is meant to build relationships, spark conversations, and create opportunities for people to just communicate and talk. Then we use what's called value based content. Value based content positions you as the authority, allows you to add massive value, but also get people out of a state of thinking about things and into a state of actually making decisions. And the last form of content we use is promo style content. Promo style content essentially gets people to raise their hands and take action. The combination of these three types of content in used over 5 pieces of content throughout a week allow you to create a content strategy and a content system that consistently delivers pre-sold clients to you. So that's number one. We talk about how we only need 5 pieces of content and the 3 types of content that we use in order to do this. Now, next, I want to talk about how my one touch content system allows people who just met me, never knew anything about me, read one piece of content and become a client. I've literally had people who have never known me before, didn't even know I existed on this planet, read one piece of my content and buy into my $25,000 offer. And why is that possible? Because we remove all the obstacles of being able to say yes. Understanding and knowing that when we speak to ready to invest clients, the people who want to make decisions, that they have a specific decision making process. So in one touch content, we use what I call disruptive belief shifting content. The goal of this is when someone is currently seeking out a solution, the problem of why they haven't actually gone and paid someone to do that is because they haven't found someone who solves their problem in a way that they feel like is actually going to get them results. So what we do is we take them out of indecision and into decision mode by eliminating all of the competition and calling out why other solutions don't work. So belief shifting disruptive content essentially does just that. It calls out the other solutions that they think they need in order to solve their problem. We call out why that doesn't work specifically, and then we share exactly how your methodology solves for that gap. In doing so, we remove obstacles. We make it easy for people to be able to say yes, but also we kind of shine a light and show the real stuff. So rather than creating this intrigue of marketing where people feel like they never have any idea of what it is you actually do or how you do it, and people have to pay into your containers in order to find out what you actually do, we actually use methodology to break down exactly what it is you do in detail so people can understand how you're going to deliver results to them. Because the truth of the matter is, if your content isn't actually sharing how you get results, it's the equivalent of you saying, yeah, just fork over your $15,000 and trust me that I'm going to deliver results. It doesn't work that way. If you want to be able to attract clients who want to say yes quickly without having to need 8 to 20 touch points or 90 days in your sales cycle, then you need to be clear and concise with exactly how you deliver the results you do and why that's the answer to what they need. So my one touch content system does exactly that. It breaks down the problem that they have. It breaks down why other solutions haven't worked for them. And then it shares with them exactly how my solution solves for that gap. And it breaks down my methodology and how we deliver the results we do. In doing so, people can literally read one piece of my content and know exactly who I am, what I do, and why the way that I do things works so well, allowing me to create less content and focusing more on the transformations that I provide for people. Also, a super important thing to understand is we don't focus on creating tons of content because it's more about promoting the content that you have. One of the biggest game changers in my business was realizing that I didn't need more content. I needed more eyeballs on my content. When you create the right type of strategic content that actually has a system and takes people down a pathway, then all you need to do is get people to the starting point of that pathway, and then they come out the other end ready to purchase. So when you recognize this and and spend less of your time actually creating that content and more of that time promoting it and getting people to it, you realize that that's really the game changer. I always tell people it's about spending 20% of your time on actually creating the content and 80% of your time on pushing traffic to that content. Okay. So I want you guys to clearly understand that. So we've touched on those two big things so far. One is why we only need 5 pieces of content and how it's really about creating a decision-making process, understanding how your clients make decision and taking them down that pathway through your content with a specific strategy that focuses on one specific core topic. We next talked about why it's so important for you to understand how one-touch content works and why one-touch content allows people to make decisions with just one touch point, one piece of content, one time meeting you, and not needing so much extra stuff from you. Now I want to share with you why my clients are able to make content in 1 to 2 hours a week that allows them to hit these 20K, 50K, 100K months. Now here's the deal. When you understand the strategy behind content, then you understand that creating a content system allows you to do just this. So what my clients do is we have a specific strategy behind what we call strategic visibility and how they leverage their content. So they can sit down with ease and know exactly how to take people from their current state to their second state, which is making a decision, and how to actually leverage that throughout their content with threads that move from one piece to another and build upon the idea so that by the end of the week, someone really understands it. Having a content system that allows you to take people from one state to another state allows you to, again, not have to create so much content and not be sitting there stuck staring at a screen, wondering what else you should write that honestly is just confusing and overwhelming for you and your audience. So one of the things I suggest to people is creating a content system, understanding that if you know you only want to create 5 pieces of content in a week, understanding and breaking it down into how that content comes out and what types of content. Now, I've already shared with you that we only use those 3 types of content, 1 being engagement, 2 being belief shifting, values style content, and 3 being promotion content. Then outlining that and really looking at how can you take one piece and then move it to the next piece and stepping it to the next piece and the next piece using those different types of content. So again, most of it is super simple. And I'm going to give you a straightforward look at how I create my own content and why it's super easy. So looking at the fact that we only create 5 pieces of content, this is what my content actually looks like. On the first day, I create an engagement piece of content. That engagement piece of content is meant to create conversations, to build relationships, and get people just talking about the topic that I'm going to be sharing that week. Now, all of my content is built around one central, what we call focal piece of content. Focal content is meant to deliver massive value, just like these trainings do, to deliver massive value and create conversion points. So on these conversion points, I know that this is my hot topic and that I'm going to try and build a conversation and a strategy around this. So I create my focal piece of content. And then on day 1, what I do is I create, knowing that like my live, this training is a focal piece of content. Then on day 1, I'll create a conversation that sparks an interest in this topic. So I get people starting to have this conversation. It's bringing it to light. It's bringing it to front of mind for them so that they understand and start to get interested in this topic. Then on the second day, I'll create a belief shift. So I'll shake things up a little bit and I'll talk about how all the things that they've been thinking about in order to solve for this problem haven't worked before. So I'll call it out and get them to a state where now they recognize that what they need is what I'm going to do a training on. And therefore, when I drop the focal piece of content, it's super straightforward and clear that that's the solution to the problem that we've already started talking about every day. So we're stair-stepping them into being able to make a decision because they've recognized the problem and understood that already before I've even gotten there. But we're creating a conversation around it. We're creating a belief shift around it. And then I do a massive value added training, just like this one, where I share a ton about what I do and how it works and how it blows everything else out of the water, making it super simple and easy for them to understand. And then I create a promotional piece of content to share this focal piece of content. So I'll create something that promotes this content to my existing audience. It's organic. It's just a simple, easy way. We use what's called 2 steps to drive traffic to this type of content. And then on the final day, I'll create another piece of value-based content that does a belief shift and shows how my clients have experienced this so that my prospective clients can now see how it could work for them. Very strategic, very simple and straightforward, but honestly, it's built on relationships and it's built on allowing your audience to make decisions. This is the exact process that my clients use to be able to hit those months without having to run paid ads or do live launches or any of that other stuff. This is the very first step in what is called my Easy Yes method. My Easy Yes method really breaks down to three core components. The first one is building out proprietary methodology. Listen, I don't want to lie and pretend like it's just any type of content works. It's the fact that our content is focused on ready to invest buyers, but also allows them to see how your solution is the only solution. It means they can't compare you to anybody else. We do this by developing proprietary methodology where you actually create a market of just you. You're the only solution because now you can clearly identify and articulate what it is you do in a way that nobody else can by literally looking at the gaps in the market and solving for them. We do this through my dynamic framework technique that allows you to create that messaging, the positioning, and the proprietary methodology that makes it inconceivable that there is any other solution out there because you are the one and incomparable solution. Next, what we do is we build a sales system. You need a sales system to be able to bring all those new leads that are coming into your world, and they are, into actual clients. So we do this with what's called my bingeable authority system. A bingeable authority system is incredible. It's built around the idea of how Netflix gets people to become raving fans overnight. And it literally delivers your proprietary methodology into a bingeable mini series of videos or audio that is built around talking about your proprietary methodology and allows you to actually convert those leads, those people who never knew you before today, into premium paying clients within 48 hours because now they can see what it is you do, how you do it, and why that's so valuable to them. And the last and final piece is the delivery mechanism. The truth of the matter is, if you can't sustain the results you get for your clients at scale, then your business is kind of dead in the water. So, what we do is we create a results mechanism that allows you to deliver results at scale to your audience so that whether you're working with one client or 100, you're able to deliver the same results again and again. So you have happy clients shouting your name from the rooftop and sharing about that. So I just want to recap that again. Having strategic content that drives traffic, creates a nurture opportunity, and creates a relationship that allows them to make decisions is the answer to you being able to create a pipeline of premium clients. And my easiest method is the easiest method out there in order to do this. So if you want to learn about what that looks like and how you can use the easiest method in your business to be able to fill your pipeline with premium clients and serve the most incredible opportunity clients on the earth and get them amazing results, then go ahead and click the button below this video to book your call.